Hey, what's up, fellow Rage Quitters? Just thought I would do a quick one, bit different. It seems all my best games at the moment happen when I'm not recording, so I just thought I would give you that. But anyway, yeah, back in my vintage British boxing tee. Check them out, they're cool. Um, okay, here we go. So basically started as I always do. King's Pawn e4 and kind of standard white for me start. That was all good, and doing these moves fairly rapidly because I've played this game many times before. And there was his first blunder. Definitely meant to protect that pawn in this attack. He doesn't. Does that, preparing to castle, and then boom shakalak. That's devastating. Obviously, if he does castle, he's going to lose the bishop and suddenly be under pressure. And it's not that hard to get back, I think, at this stage, just because I haven't got much. But it's obviously it's not nice to be there. And yeah, and then of course he's still got this under pressure. So we carry on, and he decides to take the bishop, and yeah, so there. Yeah, there I have. This is what I do actually. I give that up for that. So yeah, he takes that. Obviously, he's attacking my queen there. I decide to get his bishop. He gets my queen. I get his queen. And he goes out. And after all of that, I'm a pawn up. And obviously, it's a shame because he kind of came over, and I was hoping after the exchange to have that. But at the end of the day, I'm a pawn up. He's lost two. I've got one. Carry on going, and there was nowhere for my knight to go there. Obviously, I'm not just going to give it up. And all of these squares were, obviously all these squares were taken. I could have gone there, but I didn't want that pawn doubled up there. I figured doubled up there is not actually bad because you can control this square. So that's what I went for. And we'll just kind of whiz through a little bit. Things happen as you expect. I kind of messed there. I messed that up actually because that was a blunder. I didn't mean to. But at the end of the day, it was the only way to protect it. We do for an exchange, and here's my first blunder. Attack his bishop, and boom, he takes my rook. And the shouts I did, as you can imagine, if you watched any of my Rage Quit videos, the shout I did, apparently my wife said it made her jump out of her skin because it was obviously a total blunder, and I very nearly rage quit, and I was like, you know what, just carry it on. You're full rook down. But I got some ideas. So out there, I wanted to obviously plug the gap here. Let's check. I was like, okay, because I wanted to castle. I just wanted to do it in one nice smooth motion. Boom, there it was. Um, and there, yeah, I'm not sure if he should have done that. I don't know what the best move is there, but I don't know. I don't think he should have taken, but he does. I guess he wanted to open up that file. And yeah, and I just start going on a Pac-Man pawn gobbling mission. Obviously, I don't want to exchange my rook at that point because a rook and a bishop, they're just going to beat a bishop every time, dark square bishop. So he moves back, and this is where he starts wasting a bit of time, I think. Now I'm like, okay, I want to get this bishop somewhere in, either controlling this diagonal, or if I can, controlling both diagonals. But with his rook there, it's unlikely. So I'm like, okay, cool. You've given me a chance to come over. I'm like, okay, I'll have that. Comes down, I'm like, yeah, fine. I don't want this pin, obviously, because he'll just take there. I'll take rook. He'll take rook. Oh, yeah, I suppose I would have got both of his rooks at that point. So it wasn't a great pin, but I didn't want to be in it. And this is a 2-1 game. Obviously, you're not thinking that deeply. So I'm coming out. I'm like, okay, he sees that because I think that could be a potential spot for me for my rook in the future. And now I'm just like, okay, once this bishop moves, I don't want any back rank shenanigans because obviously I want to move my rook, and I also don't want to be forced into a rook sacrifice. So I move my he moves his king first, and then I'm like, cool, let's get out of here. Now obviously he's now put this, I've got eyes on this line because he's made, these two pawns, this pawn is potentially weak, this pawn's potentially weak. And he's given me this rank, and I was waiting for him to come back. I thought we were going to do a little dance, and he would end up trapping me sort of in one of these two squares, because really I think he should have controlled both of these files, but he didn't. Again, 2-1 game. These things happen. Not quite sure what he was trying here, so I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to push you back, and then I'm sure you can see that straight away. I'm sure my viewers tend to be higher rated than me. But yeah, I was like, do I want to give this up? Yes, I do. I want one of those rooks, and there are no checks. There are no checks, so, beautiful. He's like, okay, well, I'll grab the pawn. I'm like, cool. And now we start the dance, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Now, back to that weakness I talked about earlier, and that rank. So boom, I jump up there, moved my king, so I'm not on any checks. Great. He moves out of the way. Obviously, I could defend this. Definitely could defend that. But I suddenly felt more confident. Obviously, we're about to lose a pawn, but I felt the 3 and 2 with his king there, with me controlling this rank. I felt strong. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to take that. Because I don't want him having a pass pawn. So here we go. Now it's a bit of shuffling. I'm just like, okay, just protect this, because I'm kind of waiting for these kind of ideas, which is what I thought he was doing before. I thought this was a strange move. I don't know what he was thinking of there. I'm really not sure. I mean, seems quite useless. I mean, he can't go anywhere there. Even if these squares are all taken. I mean, maybe he's thinking when I do move the rook, he's going to come in there and try and attack me from that way. I'm not sure. I thought it was a bit of a cumbersome move. I thought back here to here would have been better. But anyway, I digress. So obviously I just push him back. Now I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm like, okay, let's put some pressure, because obviously now, as you can see, 2.6 seconds is what I ended up with. He was a fair bit ahead of me, if I remember rightly. He had about, in fact, we can have a look through the timer. I think at this point he had, so he had twice as much time as me. He had 13.1 seconds. You see here on the top. I had 6.1, or 13.3, I should say. I put him in check. I'm just trying to buy time now. And then suddenly, right about here, I see it. And I'll let you pause the video. Hang on, sorry. Yeah, and I just see it. Obviously, I'm attacking him, but then I see something, and I'm like, oh, hello. And then he does that, and I'm like, okay, I think I can get this, because I wanted that rank, and I wanted to cover that and check him there. And I was like, okay, cool, that's pretty good. If he leaves his king there, he's going to be in trouble. He's going to start moving back, blah, blah. And I can start coming in. And even though that's not a dark square in the corner, there's something good happening there, right? But he does that. And I'm like, bingo, I got the ideas. I got the ideas. So bang, I push up. And I'm like, oh no, he's going to push forward. And then, of course, he can't push forwards, to totally destroy my idea because he's in a pin. He can't move his king, obviously, because these two pawns absolutely dominate these two squares. And he obviously throws in a no, he doesn't throw in a check. That was weird. I don't know. Maybe it was time. He had 9.2. I had 5.1. I think he was trying to flag me at this point. Not really sure what he was doing. Maybe because he could have moved to this rank from there. Um, Maybe he wants to give me a check from there instead of there. I don't know because who knows? But I've got a feeling he's trying to flag me. So now I come out and I'm like, right, cool, okay, I want this line now. He throws in a check. I hide from the check. He still had chance. He goes like that, and obviously he needed to move his bishop back, and I get the sweetest ever rage quit. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. Gotta love getting a checkmate with a pawn. And as you see, 8.6 to 2.6 seconds. So yeah, absolutely love that. One more time in fast motion because I feel that I show a lot of my mess ups. I am finding it harder to play and make videos. So I don't know. A lot of my best games, even though that's horrible blunder, a lot of my best games tend to be offline. It's a nice dance. I really liked that. I felt strong. I mean, on this side, bishop can be like another pawn. Excuse me. On this side, bishop can be like another pawn. You can advance those up because that's what I was thinking. I was like, I could have some kind of advance, advancing going on here, backed up some way with the thing. I wasn't really, thinking, but yeah, here we go. Absolutely lovely. And I was like, shut down his white bishop on that side, get your pawns on dark squares on this side. Yeah, that was nice. Get my rook back, get the pawns, set up the checkmate, bang, boom. Absolutely lovely. Okay, Rage Quitters, that's about it for this one. Just a little short one. Like and subscribe if you like. See ya.